What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Speaking English podcast. I need to have my shoulders go down. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 92, under, beneath, and underneath and below. This is a question sent in from Alexander, who I think lives in Germany. I'm not sure, but I think. So thank you for writing in that question, and of course I'll get to that immediately. And also thanks for Elsa, who says she likes the show, and she's watching it on her cell phone using Daily Meet TV. And thank you to Daily Meet TV for translating and making new graphics, which you can now find on speakingenglishpodcast.com. There's a button, and if you click that, you can get the Speaking English podcast via Daily Me TV on your cell phone. And you can also join the Facebook page, and please do so. Let's do Facebook a little bit more active from now on. There's a Facebook image, like a blue image, which you can click and which will direct you to the page. And also, I finally updated the archives. That's right. So now, on that page, speakingenglishpodcast.com, you can find a link to every single episode. And there's gonna be more. You know how I'm using a blog to do this, the webpage, speakingenglishpodcast.com, and you can put the posts into different categories. And so far, I put them all into the category podcast, which is not very creative, and also not very helpful for you when you're learning. So, I'm going to organize all 91 episodes in the upcoming week. That's my goal. Into stuff I am discussing in the episode. So, for example, TH or silent consonants, or soft versus hard, like D versus T or B versus P, and all that stuff. And so that you have a little more direction when you go to the site. So you can click on the topic you want to learn about, like the TH, for example. Alright, how's that? Please send me an email. Tell me if you would like that. Would that be helpful to you? And since so many of you watch this show through iTunes, I would appreciate if you would go there and just rate it. You know, even if it's just 3 stars, that's fine. Just give it a rating. One of you, please do that. So, under, beneath, underneath, and below. That is a trick question, and I didn't know how to answer it right away, so I looked it up. And I'll give you the end result first. In the end, it says they're all synonyms. The thesaurus tells you when you look up under that you might as well use beneath or below. However, and of course this now is judgmental since I'm not a native speaker, and I haven't yet gotten a hold of somebody who could answer that question better. But I think under is when you can see the under, and underneath in my head is when something is completely covered. Okay, so for example, my hair is underneath my hat. It is under the hat, but you can't see it, so that's why I think it's underneath. Or for example, if your little cat has crawled under your blanket, then the cat is underneath that blanket. if it's in plain sight, for example, the portrait of your mother is hanging under the portrait of your father, or is below the portrait of your father. That's kind of like a spatial, it's definitely below. And you can try to remember that, like, this is the water line, and there's, I don't know, like ducks above the water line and fish below the water line. But they are underwater. They're completely surrounded by it, covered by it. Well, in the end, I would just one forum I looked at, they were quoting Leanne Rimes lyrics, and there's you're under the starlight, and no, you're below the stars and under the starlight. So it's all very. I would have liked to give you better spatial directions, but I would just go with this. Like, you have a line, something is below that line. So this is kind of the vertical cut. And then you have, if you look down on it, then something is under it. Okay? The fish are below the water line. They are underwater. And if the water were a blanket, they would be underneath the water. That's how I would explain it to you. But of course, if a native speaker is watching and has more insight, please interact. Give us a shout. Tell me you were wrong. I don't think I'm that wrong, but some clarification would be helpful. Alright, so spread the word, and thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.